Today's guest is a powerful voice in contemporary literature, exploring what it means to stand tall in the intersections of culture, womanhood, and self-worth. Mrs. Bhavna Bhatia Roszel is the author of The I in Indian, a poignant novel that challenges cultural norms and celebrates the journey towards self-acceptance and freedom. Through her storytelling, she dives deep into the themes of identity, resilience, and what it means to break generational expectations without breaking yourself. Her book is sparkling conversations across book fairs, signing events, and clubs like Single to Shadi. And today, she brings that bold voice to our show. Please welcome one and only our author and truth seeker, Mrs. Bhavna Bhatia Roszel. Hi, Bhavna. It's so wonderful meeting you today.
It's wonderful to meet you too. Thank you for having me.
So first of all, do you see what I'm wearing?
I do. You dressed for the occasion.
And do you know why?
I think it's because you're mixing Indian and Western cultures in your clothing.
Yes.
Very nice.
Because it was such an inspiring book. We all who are second generational Indians can relate to your book of what the struggles they themselves have gone through, myself included. Sure. And it hit home in many ways.
I'm so happy to hear that.
Absolutely. And it felt like, and I was in tears towards the end because I was impressed with your writing, that it was just so open and you just felt like you were writing from your heart. Mm-hmm. And to me, that sings beautifully.
Thank you.
So I appreciate you being so vulnerable and open to letting everyone read this, a little bit of glimpse in your life. So tell us, given that, what is Bhavna and who is she?
Sure. Well, I am a second generation Indian American, and I, like so many of us, grew up a little confused, right? Not an ABCD.
Definitely not an ABCD.
But confused while I navigated what I was learning from my parents in terms of traditional values and trying to reconcile that with my reality growing up in American culture and society. And, I ebbed and flowed and I failed and I stood back up, and I felt this story was a little bit mine and a little bit of everybody that I know.
Right.
My cousins, my friends, they had their own version of struggle. And I often found myself trying to make sense of that. Why is this way? Why is this way? Why are we bringing this over? Does this make sense? And it took a long time to find self-acceptance and be comfortable with who I am.
Yeah, and the self-acceptance, let's talk a little bit on that. Just because as a second generational Indians, and even if you're not second generational, you could relate to anyone,
sure,
whether you're Indian or not. When your parents have set values and standards, and you spelled beautifully in the book, is how do you manage or navigate through those hurdles of saying, I no longer want to be caged in your belief system?
Sure.
Right? You went through that struggle in your book, and I want the world to see how you overcame, whether it was behind the book or whether it's Bhavna speaking. I want to know this portion of it.
Fortunately for me, my parents are not like the parents in the book. My parents, very well adjusted, very open. In fact, they came here specifically because they had daughters and they wanted a better experience for their daughters. So my mom was the force that resisted a lot of these expectations in the culture, in the community. And I look up to her so much for that. But I have, family members, friends that were not so fortunate. But how do you overcome those things?
Right.
One is accepting yourself, right? Then two is realizing and redefining what love really is, right? So much of our culture teaches us that love is obedience, right? Love is not disappointing your parents. And if you love them, you'll do what they say. And I redefine love, right? Love for me is more about respect,
right?
you know, mutual acceptance, mutual respect, mutual understanding. And love is not unconditional, in my opinion. And it's coming to redefine that. And then finally, knowing, you know, a lot of us fear this abandonment of our family, right? We see it in movies that, oh, the parents have completely disowned their child. Or
and one of your character went through that. I think it was Vera.
Yeah.
And that, she touched my heart.
Yeah.
The abandonment. Can we speak on that? Have you seen many go through it?
Absolutely. You know, I spoke of, there was a character, Geet, who came back divorced after she was told not to get married, and the shame that she carried and abandonment that she goes through. You know, again, that's not my story, but it's many people's story. Yeah. It doesn't matter why she's divorced.
Right.
It doesn't matter if he left her. Maybe he...
Or any kind of tragic.
Right. Maybe he cheated. Maybe there was abuse.
And maybe if he didn't.
Maybe he didn't, and they just were really unhappy.
Right.
Even if it wasn't extreme, they just carry this shame as if failing in a marriage is just the worst possible thing.
Biggest taboo in the world. Yeah. But there is no such law that it's bad for Indians to go through this. It's just a made up belief system that we keep carrying on.
Sure. And don't get me wrong, you know, I think I mentioned before, I'm not advocating everyone should get divorced and not take their marriage seriously, right?
Yeah, that's not the point. That's not the discussion.
Right.
The discussion is more on the neglect, the abandonment, and the belief system that we carry.
Why do people get so abandoned for sometimes things that are out of their control?
Right.
Or for wanting something different, you know, if that makes them happy.
And why are we governing based upon the old traditions and the rules?
Absolutely.
Why can't we evolve?
Absolutely. And I think that it's almost like, I feel that parents that moved here, they froze in time.
Exactly.
Right? India even changed and evolved.
Oh God, they're way ahead.
Right. But they wanted to preserve their culture so much that they froze in time.
Because they don't know any better.
Yeah. That's all they know.
Yeah. And maybe it's a fear factor.
Absolutely. I mean, change is hard. Change is scary.
Hard. Yeah. What to let go and what to keep.
Right. And hey, we'll probably do the same thing, right?
Hopefully
we know what we know. But hopefully we know enough to challenge ourselves.
Yes. Yeah.
And I'm not here, you know, my book doesn't, as you know, it doesn't shame the parents, you know, it's just a matter of
you didn't.
Building a bridge between that generation and this generation to find understanding.
But you brought awareness.
Yeah.
And the way the mom realized and hugs, it's beautiful. And the way the dad, you know, puts his head down. Those are all those touching moments. Of course, listeners and viewers, I have read the book. And it's beautifully spelled out. So let's talk about other areas. What does the book mean when you say I in Indian?
So the title came to me in the middle of the night. Okay. I was, you know, creatives, we brainstorm, and nothing was feeling right. And then it hit me at like 2:00 in the morning. I woke up and wrote a note on my iPhone that I figured out the title. I called my publisher the next day. The I in Indian is meant to break this idea that being Indian is something that you do.
Right.
And embracing the I, yourself in Indian, as being whatever you want that to mean, right? There's this notion of the good Indian girl, and if you don't live your life a certain way, you know, you're less Indian than other people. And the purpose of the book is to help people realize, you know, being Indian is just something you are.
Yes.
And that can mean so many things. Right. That can mean divorce, not divorce. That can mean, you know, marrying within the culture, marrying outside of the culture. You know, somebody can't take that away from you. Nobody's more Indian than the other.
Exactly.
And that's why I named it The I in Indian.
It was well done. And it's obviously capturing, because when you see the I in India, you just pause and think, okay, there's something about this book.
Yeah.
And why are we talking? Why are we spelling it?
Sure.
So the I is a self-identity.
Mm-hmm.
At least that's what I assumed it to be.
Absolutely.
And self-awareness when I read it, that you form your identity based upon what you take from the society you're in and the environment you're in.
Right.
So maybe the identity would have been picked up differently had I been in India or Australia or wherever, you know? So it's the environment has a huge role on it. And I feel, unless I'm wrong, Bhavna, is that I is all about your identity, what you shape.
Absolutely. And again, that's shaped on your surroundings, where you grew up. But that doesn't take away from you being
from your
Indian.
Roots. Yes.
Right? You're still Indian.
Yeah.
You're just a different kind.
Yeah.
And if anything, why aren't we more nice to each other?
Right.
Right. Understanding we have different backgrounds.
What's going on with that?
I don't know. I talked about, girls being in college and joining Bhangra teams, and some of them were born here.
So that was perfect.
Yeah. And that was based on, real life. I was on a Bhangra team in college. And so it felt natural to write about the things that I knew. Yeah. But I can't tell you how much, ABCD shaming there is.
Trust me, I've been there.
Even within the community,
Yeah, like, what do you know? And do you even speak Hindi?
Yes.
And my goodness, of course, just because I'm from here.
And that's the struggle of the second gen, right?
Yeah.
I grew up in a Desi household, listening to Hindi music and movies. But if I go out of the house, I'm not Indian enough for the Indian kids. But I'm definitely too Indian for the American kids, right? Because I wasn't listening to all these American songs. So you're kind of stuck in between form your own identity.
And how do you navigate those struggles within yourself to fit in?
Yeah. It's a very unique experience.
And you and I have gone through the same, well, I don't know if you've gone, but the book for sure has gone through the same challenges that most of us can relate to, myself included. But at the same time, it gives you a sense of belonging that you are right. You're proud of being Indian.
Sure.
Or you're part of being whatever culture you are.
Yeah.
I think the book itself is about the Indians, but it can be translated to any part of anyone's culture.
Absolutely.
Right.
This doesn't just apply to Indians. It applies within cultures as well.
Exactly.
Anybody who has parents that have values that are different from theirs, which is inevitable.
Yeah.
Right? Everybody experiences that because every generation has different circumstances and environmental contexts and all that.
Yeah. If you're from Italy, you have the Italian roots.
Right.
Right. And if you are from even
America,
the British system, even Americans here, like if you're from the South and you navigate and move towards the North side, then you're obviously you're going to go through the struggles.
Absolutely.
I come from the South, so deep rooted in North Carolina, which I love. So that culture, that identity of me moving even here in Virginia was still a shock. It's a shell shock just because of that little bit of movement.
Yeah.
It changes your identity of who you are, right?
And whoever you're with down there.
Yeah.
Right.
And so forget your ethnicity.
Right.
So this book kind of gives you that awareness that be proud of where you are and what you are. And you're always consistently navigating and changing and metamorphosizing. Is that you're morphing into the new you.
Absolutely.
Right. And so take us to what you learned. Because these are the things that I've learned. But what about you from writing your own book?
I wanted to help as many women out there to accept themselves for whatever that means and not try to live anybody else's definition of love or happiness, and give anybody, struggling to accept themselves a happy ending.
Right.
This happy ending that you can find love, and it may not look like what you thought it would be.
Let's speak about love a little bit.
Okay.
So what does love mean? Is it the Bhavna love or is it the book love? I want to know what
that is my love.
That is your love.
Yeah. So that story is fictionalized, but based on my relationship with my husband.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
Who is Italian. And we, thankfully, like I said, we didn't have to deal with a lot of the scrutiny, but he helped. I never thought I would marry outside of the culture.
Of course.
Because of how connected I am to the music, the movies, the food, right?
The DDLJs.
Yeah, it's such a big part of my life.
Yes, yes.
That I couldn't imagine. But the truth is that didn't define love for me. What defined love was how he valued me, saw me, made me feel
patient.
So patient.
And that
still is.
That's the best thing about love, to be patient in your flaws and your perfection.
Absolutely.
Right? And he was able to be there for you. And you gained the confidence and to give it back.
Absolutely.
And that's love.
Yeah.
Growing with each other.
Growing with each other. I mean, of course, there's no perfect relationship, right? You do have to accept each other for everything that they are. But you really have to do that. You really have to accept.
And you have to work hard.
And you have to work hard every day.
And be open, right?
Yeah.
And that's what you did.
That's what I did. And I'm so glad.
Yeah, absolutely.
I'm so glad.
So, I mean, these are can you give us a little bit of intake? Maybe you will have a next series about relationship when it comes to marriage. But can you give us a little bit of tips? What Bhavna feels that what marriage is, given in this type of relationship that you're in with?
Sure.
And I guess not intercaste. What would you?
Interracial. Yeah. So how do you make it work?
How do you make that work?
You have to be willing to pick and choose your battles. Right. Your values aren't always going to align. The traditions aren't always going to align. I think that's really important, is knowing how to pick your battles. Right. 2 would be, if you're going to expect your partner to be fair, you have to hold yourself to the same standard, right? Yes. Honor your partner's culture as much as you'd want them to honor yours, right? It can't be one's better or more important than the other. You have to really honor each other in ways that
meet halfway.
And meet halfway. Really understanding what's important to them, right? And where are you willing to make compromise and sacrifice?
Because you're raising children now.
Right.
So you want to meet halfway and give both of the worlds, right?
Yeah.
Both of the culture.
Absolutely. So we're doing that, right? We're doing that. We have a son. His name is Ram.
Oh, congrats.
Thank you. Thank you. And we are teaching him both. And I want that. I want him. I mean, I absolutely love the Italian culture, and the value system is very similar.
So similar.
Yeah. Yes. Very family oriented, at least my husband's family, traditional in a lot of senses. And it has actually been very easy.
Yeah.
And I think that's how it's supposed to feel.
Beautiful, Bhavna. Yeah. So what else can you tell us, the listeners and the viewers, about your book and about what you've learned and what you want the viewers to get out of this book?
Sure. I would say if you're struggling with self-acceptance, if you're unsure what your future looks like, this book is for you, right? It'll help you to feel that confidence and see that happy ending, and hopefully give you the strength and courage to go for what you want, right? And know when something is worth fighting for. And that's what I really want them to get out of it.
And it does do that. Okay. It spells beautifully. And I'm so proud, viewers, that she's here with us right now, because it's not a book that you want to put down. And it's such an easy read just because of the way it flows. So thank you, Bhavna, for enlightening us through your book. And I can't wait for the next series to come.
So just about. So this is a series, right? There's 3 main characters.
Nice.
And each one of these characters will get her own book. So this is Arya's book. And then next is Vera's book. And then third will be Sarah's book. So I am almost done with Vera's book. I can't wait for
Vera. I love Vera.
Yeah. And that's the other main message. Get yourself some good girlfriends, right? You've got to have girlfriends that can serve as mirrors, that can help you love yourself, right? And tell ways that sometimes family can't heal.
Tell you when things are wrong.
Right.
They're not afraid to tell you, hey, cut this shit out.
Right. Hey, you're self-sabotaging.
Yes.
Hey, you deserve this. It's okay. Yes. And hey, cut this out.
Yeah.
I think there's an important theme of friendship here.
It's beautiful.
Where her friends, they are her mirrors and they help her get herself together. And I think that that's really important.
Well, you did a great job with it. Thank you. And thank you so much for coming today. You are a beautiful woman inside out.
Thank
and
you.
I can't wait for the world to read more of the new series that's coming up. I am. So thank you. Thank you so much.
Thank you. So good to meet you.
There you go. And that was Bhavna. And please pick up the I in Indian, and we'll see you later. And please do comment if you liked it. Love you guys. Bye-bye. Take care.